Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Horath and we are playing Tyranny. Welcome back. In the last episode we sort of came into this valley, found our first companion over here, Verse. And apparently the Scarlet Chorus is being attacked, or the armies of Kairos are being attacked by the rebels that we were sent to subdue. And apparently they have taken the commander of these guys. So we'll just have to find out what's actually happening over there. Oh yeah, I have to select both, I guess. Gonna plunder that barrel over there. That's just how I roll in role-playing games. Plundering everything that is nailed down. So anything else? Can I have a look at that one? Kairos ordered the original icon of the disfavored erased from memory for over 100 years. Admiring the disfavored signal. I know a thing or two about that. Yeah.
You got it.
Tell me then. For over 100 years the disfavored have kept the scratched out iconography, wearing it with pride. So the original sigil has been struck out, I guess. They still are, they still kept it. And it looks very haphazardly struck out. What else do we have? We have Cosmo up here and somewhere we can loot over there. So let's loot the person. What's that? Vendrian Guard, Heavy Bronze Greaves. They are not good for us. They give us more armor, but they increase the time that we need to recover between attacks, so we won't take them. And then Agate, which is just basically money. Let's see what you have to say. What are you doing? You'll draw attention to me. Okay, so she doesn't want any attention. Oh well then. Let's go for quick save and let's move over here. Okay, that's the blood chanter. Looks like a hostage situation. Pelox Tyrell, stow your weapons or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored officer at knife point. We already read through these, so I'm just gonna go on. Drastus, skewer him! Worry not for me, Graven Ash will protect. If you mouse over that, you can see if there's anything substantial to that. The disfavored are all protected by Archon Ash's mystical aegis, and many will attest that it allows disfavored to endure truly staggering punishment. However, there are no documented cases of a disfavored surviving decapitation, being sliced in half, or other wantonly fatal doses of trauma. It is highly unlikely that Ash's aegis will save Drastus from his neck being sliced open. Okay. The disfavored officer winces, blood seeping from the seams of his braces and cuirass. Okay. You heard the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? This blade. With a jerk of the knife, he slices off a clump of Drastus' matted hair. If you're so eager to see your ally dead, just step closer. Release the prisoner and you might know the inside of a cell. And I'm sure that cell will have daily visits from Scarlet Chorus cats thirsty for a bit of torture. He shakes his head, pulling the captive closer. I'd rather take my chances with death. Now that's unfair. I assure you, it's more a hunger for torture than a thirst. But you're correct. We have no charity left for those who have laughed at our mercy once before. The blood chanter slams her staff on the ground, curling her fingers with a quivering hand. If you fools won't deal with him, maybe I will. Whatever you're thinking, don't. Not until Commander Drastus is safe. Oh, that's Stone Shield. I guess he survived, or maybe it's a different Stone Shield. We have to help Drastus. I don't have the athletics to do this. Maybe I should turn that off. You can turn that off in the options. But I think I want to leave it. We have to help Drastus. Pelox Tyrell. Tyrell dashes the blade across Drastus' throat. Blood gushes out from the commander's neck, drowning out his final words. Tyrell points the bloody knife towards you. Death to Kairos! Death to the Archons! The moment Dras's body falls to the ground, the disfavored soldiers pounce forward, quickly reducing the Oathbreaker to a bloody mess. I don't see a way that I could actually have stopped this situation. Dras's death will be a setback. He was a fine steward of the steadfast. Aurora swallows, her lips purse in anger, but with the losses we've sustained in this war, I'm the next in command. I will aspire to be half the leader Drastus was. One of the soldiers found some mage blather on the Oathbreakers. Aurora holds up a rolled sheaf of parchment. I figured, you being trained in letters, you could, perhaps. Aurora looks down at the papers, her face blushing, and quickly thrusts the sheaf towards you. So law. Literacy is rare in the north. Very few disfavored soldiers know more than a few written words. Literacy is uncommon in the tiers, but the nobility of the younger realms have taught literacy to the firstborn noble for centuries. Now, many of these disenfranchised nobles have fallen in with the uprising, and they rely on written messages. Knowing most of Kairos' forces will be unable to decipher the contents. Interesting. I'm gonna examine the parchment. Repeating the same messages in different written scripts, the parchments explain the Vendrian Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos' Archons and rout their armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invites all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at Vendrian's well. Recruitment material. They were trying to bring more traders to the fight. There were likely other groups trying to flee the valley, but we can rest knowing we stopped this group. A shame it's at such a high cost. The Archons are expecting you at the disfavored war camp. When you're ready to leave, exit by the southeast gate and keep going that way through the foothills. Pretty sure we could have diffused this situation if we had made different choices, but I don't see how my character could have done that. I'm not sure that was actually a thing. We gain Sigil of Distant Impact. Nice. And Quick Finger Bangles, which seems to be an accessory, and Honor Guard's Bronze Fox. Okay, that's a two-handed sword, I guess. Let's take it all. Let's have a look into our inventory. Let's open this thing. Let's look for everything. And we're gonna learn the scroll. Contains a magical expression, which is used in spells that affect targets at a distance. So now we can do fireball and stuff like that, instead of having to use the weaker form that we're currently using. That makes me pretty happy. Very good. Anything else that we can use in here? Yeah, I think we can equip this one. That's gonna give us +1 quickness. No matter how fast they move, these bangles never make a sound. That's great. More quickness means faster casting. That's pretty good. Anything else in here? Well, we could sell a bunch of stuff. Nothing too important as of yet. But let's have a look at the spells that we can do now. So, for example, with the Sigil of Lightning, which is our strongest suit, we can go for the Signal of Distant Impact, which takes a lot more lore than the other one. So, but if we go for that one, we'll have a ranged ability, doing more shock damage, with a range of 8 meters instead of the 4 that we had up until now. And it's going to do some area of effect damage. Stunned Affliction for 1.1 seconds. Afflictions are explicitly bundled sets of status effects that can be applied to, suspended, or fully removed from a character. Okay, that's alright. It's only a radius of 1, but it's still good. Attack skills, control lightning, and lore. Yep, electrocute the target with a huge bolt of entwining lightning, dealing shock damage and stunning them. That requires lore 30. I could go with the increased range. That's going to require lore 40. So yeah, I'm going to assign that. I'm going to assign that to me. So now we have a ranged electric jolt and a charged electric jolt. That's pretty good. I could also go for a fireball instead of the searing palm. Could actually change all these guys just for sort of upgrading them. So that's gonna bring us up to 40 lore for that one. Let's upgrade it. And the Charged Fist I'm going to keep because I want an additional lightning thingy over there. And then we're going to change that one to Distant Impact. How much does that do? 11 to 21. That does 17 to 25. So more damage. 30 law, 40 law. Let's update that one as well. That looks a lot better. For me at least. What does that do? Area of effect. Oh yeah, that does a bunch of area of effect. 8 to 13 damage. Looks good. Looks very good. How are our skills over here? So 27 control fire, 33 control frost, 52 control lightning. Nice. Alrighty, let's go for quick save. I don't think there's much in the way of much to do over there. We need 39 subterfuge to open this one. Can you do it? No, you don't have the subterfuge either, I guess. How high is your subterfuge? Law 27, 34 subterfuge. You're nearly there. It's a shame. But we can't open that one, I guess. What's with you guys? The Archon demands that all prisoners be given a chance to serve the chorus. So they are haggling. The prisoner is from the Tarkus clan, then he's not just any Oathbreaker, he's one of their leaders. Aurora signals to her men by dragging her hand across her neck. No mercy for those who foment rebellion. Find a post and string him up. If his wounds don't kill him, thirst, starvation and infection will do the rest. We must give the vanquished enemy a chance to serve. That is our law. Smiling with recognition at your presence, the chanter points your way. Just ask the governor here. You understand the wisdom of the Scarlet Chorus. The Overlord does not wish to rule over a ruined crater. We must conquer, but if we show no mercy, we will have conquered a mountainous stretch of nothing. It could gain their favor. I tire of this nonsense. You keep recruiting these Oathbreakers, then you fail to inflict order and they defect, and we have to fight them all over again. I will not let another one of these South Norbs come back to haunt us. Well, I insist this Oathbreaker be token to the voices of Nerad, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a Fatebinder here to settle the matter for us. The chanter turns to you, an expectant smile creeping across her face. So, what say you? What should become of this prisoner? The chorus should be allowed its chance to recruit new warriors or execute the Oathbreaker. One chance to surrender is enough. I think we should execute him. I mean, executing... They already had that chance to surrender. I'm not sure we should really give them more chances. You just grow an enemy behind your back. I mean, our guy is for order and law and all that. Mercy is oftentimes a good thing, but in that case, I think they're past mercy. I'll just run back and start fighting again. So we're gonna execute the Oathbreaker. One chance to surrender is enough. Okay. Happily, this one will pay for Drastus and all my other brothers and sisters that perished here in Vendrian's well. Aurora nods to a nearby warrior. You heard the Fatebinder. Kill him, but make an example of him. Find a post that's not in use and string him up. Aurora gives you a solemn nod. Until next time, Fatebinder. I know you have important business in the valley. No point in keeping you. She snaps to a salute. For the glory of Kairos! Okay, I didn't really mean for him to be tortured. That's not great. That doesn't make me too happy. I just wanted him killed, not tortured. Oh well, there's a merchant, Fatebinder. What an honor to have one of Tunan's court visit our humble holdfast. Need supplies? Bursting with energy, the merchant slams her palm down on the top of crate. If so, you've come to the right place. So, what will it be today? She spreads out a welcoming arm over her wares. I trust you've been granted proper stewardship of the goods you're peddling. Well, you see, Fatebinder. The merchant cranes her head to the side, scratching her neck. I think so. I've been handed these bits of scripts. She reaches across a stack of provisions to snatch a scroll case. But I'm not a woman of letters. Numbers are my strength, as you can well imagine. Let me see those. Certainly, good Fatebinder. She hands you the scroll case while wearing a quizzical expression. A cursory read indicates this merchant is granted the unlimited right to trade in a logistical capacity. We're not supporting an active battle. She has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives anywhere in the tiers. We're not supporting an active battle. She has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives. Huh. I could extort her, possibly. But I don't think it's the right thing. Where did you get these? Harkind Bronze acquired these on my behalf, from Archon Tunon's agents, I believe. Her expression shows deep concern. Do you see any issues? I mean, the campaign is not active, but this all seems in order. Well, naturally, she winks. Just because we fight dirty doesn't mean we trade dirty. Well, most of the time, at least. How's trade? Well, this is a service posting. No profit up here in the past. That's Harkind Bronze's orders. But when we march out of the valley, I'm back on my own schedule. And here's to hoping this year is a good one. The Overlord forbids the extortion of the pathways. Good thing too, cause in years past, I'd lose most of my profit to tolls. Couldn't turn a copper if I tried to haul long distance. Let's see, what do you have? So she has a bunch of staffs. Mainly all the normal gear that you can get if you start the game with another class in combination. You can sort of buy everything that you want. So if I wanted to, for example, go with the bronze war mace or with a greatsword for my sorcerer character, I could buy it here if I wanted to. But what I want is I could buy the lightning thing, but I already know this. But I can buy Lesser Sigil of the Timeless Form, which is an accent. Slightly increases the duration of a spell, or Limitless Boundaries. This scroll contains a magical accent which slightly increases the area of effect, the area of spell effects. So I think that might be what we want, buying these. So let's just sell some of the crap that we got and that we're not going to use. For example, that one. And then the Scarlet Fury helms. I don't think we need these. The Horde boots. Nope. We don't need the Broken Fox. Sky Cap. We don't need the Vandering Guard Heavy Bronze Greaves. I mean, maybe. Maybe. The meat is nice. We can sell the Agate. Let's sell the Honor Guards Bronze Fox. And the Javelin. We don't need any of these. I don't think so. I wonder if Verse will actually stay with us. I'm gonna sell the head wrap as well. So we're gonna gain a bunch of money here. And then we're gonna buy those 2 accents. Because I want to increase my magical arsenal. They're selling some camping supplies. I got camping supplies though, 4 of 6. So I'm gonna keep it. Let's trade. Thanks. That's good. So let's end this. And let's learn those 2. So we learned the level 1 of these guys. And now we could update our stuff over here. For example, I could add the area of effect. The increased area of effect, but then I wouldn't be able to equip it. This would require 65 lore. So I think I'm gonna take the Reaching Grasp away. Then I'll be able to use it with 2 more lore. And that's the Duration Sigil. That's not too great either for this one. Yeah, no, I don't need that right now, but I'm gonna use it later as soon as my lore stat actually increases. And that thing over here looks like we could climb up there with that thingy. Climb up the rope, but I need 35 athletics. Requirement not met. The rope appears to be secured strongly enough to hold your weight. Doesn't look like I can do it. Can you do it? Nope. She's also not as athletic. 31 athletics. Well, I just make a mental note of this, and we return to this when we're done here. Same with the subterfuge to open that chest. So we've got Aurora over here. A stone shield warrior stiffens her posture as you approach, offering a curt nod in acknowledgement. Need something? Watch the situation here in Vendrian's Well. The Oathbreakers hold a citadel at the heart of the valley, the one built around the base of the spire. The Matani River has been our largest headache during the siege. It's unsafe for armored troops to ford, safe for key locations, and the enemy knows this as well as we do. I know we'd be a lot farther along if the Scarlet Chorus used its alleged strength in numbers to ford the river themselves and overwhelm the enemy. Aurora looks at Worse with a disapproving air. As it is, we must take the valley slowly and advance the disfavored bulwark, since that's where the real work gets done. Because all it takes is numbers to cross the river under a hail of arrows. If the disfavored were quicker to act, maybe the Vendrian Guard wouldn't be so trained up to face us. If either of you was correct, the campaign would be over and I wouldn't be here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the low option. Gain favor with the disfavored and with Verse. Fair point. The Legion is eager to gain some perspective on our quarrels. Consequently, I retract my previous remarks. Really? Because I don't. Next time you say something, try to mean it. She's tough. But also a bit rash, I'd say. How long have you been with the disfavored? 7 years. She pauses to count on her fingers. 2 seasons, maybe a handful of days. I trained at Fort Resolution a bit before the conquest. Compared to the commanders you find around camp or stationed at Iron Hearth, that makes me one of the young bloods. This has been a long and grueling campaign, but the end is in sight. We'll soon have the Oathbreakers back under control. Then we can rest, retrain, and even cycle our troops so we can see our families again. What can you tell me of the Vendrian Guard? They are the last gasp of the younger realm. Among them are warriors that escaped the bastard city siege, a few refugees from other victories, and a bunch of Vendrian locals with delusions of independence. These southern wastrels cannot match our iron, nor the chorus's numbers. What on Terratus gave them the nerve to rise up and ask for a second helping of battle is anyone's guess. Seen anything interesting during the war? I once saw a forge-bound artisan set himself on fire. Occupational hazard. That was an unpleasant day, the first of many to be honest. Yeah, these are these mage smiths. We already read about them in the Conquest episode, in episode 1. I heard about the edict you proclaimed at the burning library, but thankfully I wasn't there. One fire was enough for me. Yeah, we burned that library down. She taps her gauntlet to her breastplate in salute. Have a pleasant siege, Fatebinder. Let's see what she has to say. We sing the anthem of pain. Alright, she isn't really in a mood to talk. That's fine though. That's totally fine. What about you, Crescent Runner? You're uninjured. If you see the chorus causing problems, let me know and I crack some heads. Okay. Why not? There are some more. These Tearsmen don't know how good we have it under Kairos. I would guess so. I don't think my bowels can take another month of siege. My gang boss is a milk-livered sow. Okay. Okay, here's the exit. And here's Stone Shield again. Guarding... What are you? Oh, Tarkus Demos. So, the guy that I sentenced to death. Hail Kairos. What are you? Kairos should not have accepted the Vendrian surrender. Let's talk with this guy. You there! Muttering through a mouth full of congealed blood, Tarkus Demos hangs from his stake. End this. I beg you. You've suffered enough. Request is granted. You plunge your weapon into his heart, ending his life with one quick thrust. I didn't want him tortured. All I wanted is him dead. Okay, and I guess that is where I leave this place. So let's go for the disfavored camp. This fort was constructed shortly after routing rebels along the valley's western edge. The Archon Gravenash directs all disfavored efforts from this location. And there are the Edge Ring Ruins. Edge Ring Ruins is nestled within Apex's western range, serving as a gateway into Vendrian's Well. Kairos' forces have recently transformed into a full garrison to ward off insurgents desperate to leave the well. And you can also go for the full world map over here. So we got the contested lands, the Blade Grave, Haven, Mandarin's Well. We're gonna read these when we're actually going there. I'm not gonna read through all of them right now. We are currently over here in Mandarin's Well. So let's go to the disfavored camp. Let's see what awaits. 3 hours until we're there. The athletic skill can be used to intimidate characters in conversations. That's cool. Maybe I should have gone for athletics. Maybe I do a warrior playthrough after this one. Take what you can carry, but leave the cart. Otherwise, we seize you and your wares. This is robbery. This is Kairos' law. Okay, they seem to have an argument. Doesn't look like it goes on. Maybe we can help over here. Hail, Fatebinder. The disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camp's on up ahead. Don't mind us. Just clearing out the rabble. Sterling Hagnon. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll. But she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I'm not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. You're on disfavored land. These warriors have every right to kill you. You should be more thankful they're even listening to you speak. We're gonna take the lawful stance. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. A trade permit? Well, how was I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tunin. But we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. Okay, I could say anything to be argued before Tunin, maybe argued before me. I think that is about the stance that we would take. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel, and the warrior pauses, placing her hand in the front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. The soldier clears her throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavored matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgments around. That pisses them off, eh? Alright then. Well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart. Or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing drafts. Certainly any army will need those. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and the aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose. Coolio, we're gonna go with that one. Law 30. What a coincidence! Your family recipe for wound paste smells just like the Scarlet Fury's own concoction. Where do you steal this? I don't. The merchant tenses up, his face flushing red. I don't know what you're getting at. I could do it myself if I were athletic enough. You were right. Kill this liar and share the proceeds with the Legion. I mean, killing him? Yeah, I think he's obviously a thief. He's not confessing. But should we really kill someone just like that? He might do other things than spying, than thieving as well. He might be spying. Yeah, I can't really decide. We're not gonna kill him. I think this tearsman needs a little roughing up. Slow down. I'll tell you everything. Just don't hurt me. I found most everything out in the forests of the valley. I'd keep my head low when I heard sounds of combat. Then I'd take a look and grab whatever wasn't claimed by the first victors. So then you stole from the disfavored dead. How else did you get your hands on that iron? The scout points to the merchant's cart. You come here and sell us our own armaments? If anything has an owner, I will return it. But this iron would have turned to rust if left in mud of the battlefield. The disfavored are few in number, is that not right? You need a man like me to gather up supplies that would otherwise go to waste. Okay, so he's... well... he didn't steal it per se. But he's a grave robber, I'd say. Leave this card as a gift for Graven Ash. Then leave and never come back. I think that's as much mercy as you can expect. Thank you, Faintbinder. I know others of your ilk would gleefully meddle in our affairs at every opportunity. The soldier turns her attention to the merchant. I hereby reclaim these trappings of the Overlord for use by the disfavored. If you want to live, take 2 steps to your left and don't move a muscle. The peddler shakes his head with a scowl and steps aside as directed. Spitting toward his own cart, Hagnon mutters a half-garbled curse before placing his hands up in submission. I mean, that's pretty bold. Collecting the stuff up and then selling it back to the people that lost it. At least he didn't die. I think that's fine-ish.
Right.
Okay. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. What's that? The voices of Nera told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story, so let's have it out. What's so special about you? I can lie, because I have the law. That's not really her thing. Yeah, it's none of her business. I'm not gonna tell her what's actually happening, because she's obviously a spy for the voices of Nerat. I wanna play my cards close to my chest for now. I'm actually telling the expenses of the siege. Gained 15 low skill experience, that's nice. Is that all? I can't understand why Tunen would worry himself over resources, but we have the riches of the Northern Empire backing his conquest. Not to mention the plunder of the tiers. If you say that's the case, I'll go along with it. Worse frowns to herself, but doesn't press the matter. What else has the voices of Nera told you? Only that I could find you in Edgering ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of the Matani River. She laughs, but there's a forced nature to it. Why so suspicious? It's just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So why invite a mediator from Tunen's court? Doesn't add up. Why do you think the Archons are at odds? I've been with the Scarlet Chorus since the early days of the conquest, so I can say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms moving to collide. I heard tell that Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. That's absurd. If the Archons cannot put the past behind them, they are unfit to command. Or by my authority, the Archons will fall in line. Yeah, we're gonna go for that one. We represent the law of Kairos. Yeah, I gained loyalty with her. Interesting. That sounds like exactly the attitude to set this campaign in the right direction. I don't envy you the task of getting them to cooperate, which sounds about as easy as teaching a tornado to heal. At least you sound like you know what you're doing. I really ought to be meeting with the Archons. The war tent is just past the center of the camp. She nods toward the northeast. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously. They must have suffered too many blows to the head. So that's how she thinks about these guys. Looks like we're gonna go into the disfavored camp in the next episode. For now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you didn't, tell me why in the comments so I can improve. And if you want to see more of the series in the future, please consider subscribing. Hope you join me next time for more Tyranny. Thanks. Bye bye.